Okay, so I was just telling everybody this is your time to just let go and relax and just let unfold whatever it is that unfolds for you this evening. So thank you everybody for making it out here. We're going to begin. If you'd like to take off your glasses, if that's more comfortable, you may do so. So we're going to start simply. I'd invite everyone to, at this time, keep your eyes open and pick a focal point somewhere in front of you. It can be on the floor, it can be on a wall, it can be in the distance, it can be something you imagine. Whatever point you choose, simply pick that focal point and let your eyes rest on that point. And as you continue to let your eyes rest on that point that you've chosen, begin to notice your breathing. Taking a breath in and a breath out. Not needing to force it, control it, make it happen. Just simply letting that breath come in and leave. And come in and leave. And as you continue to allow the breath to come in and leave, you'll notice that that point you've been gazing at begins to become either very, very clear and defined, or very fuzzy, blurry. Noticing that your eyes, as you continue to gaze, the eyelids becoming heavier and heavier. The desire to have those eyelids simply close down because of the heaviness becomes stronger and stronger. And whatever point you would like to let those eyes close down, simply allow that to happen. If you prefer keeping them open, that's perfectly fine too. Just notice the heaviness of the eyelids. Heavy, heavy, heavy. More and more relaxed. With each breath that you take, the more relaxed you become. The heavier the eyelids, the greater the desire to let them simply close down. Going within, allowing that breath to move in, move out. Every inhale, inviting in more relaxation. Every exhale, melting away tension, stress, anxiety, worry. Every breath in, inviting in more of the life force. On the next inhale, inviting, welcoming, allowing, desiring a wave of relaxation, starting at the top of the head, relaxing the scalp, moving down, relaxing the brow, moving down, relaxing the eyes, moving down, relaxing the cheeks, moving down, relaxing the jaw, moving down, relaxing the neck, moving down, relaxing the shoulders, moving down, relaxing the spine, moving down, Relaxing the arms, moving down. Relaxing the hands, the fingers. Perhaps even imagining little tiny valves at the end of your fingers where all tension simply releases and flows out of the body right now as that wave of relaxation continues, touching each and every one of the inner organs, moving down the pelvic area, the lower back, the thighs, knees, moving down, shins and calves relaxed, moving down, feet relaxed. And perhaps noticing those valves, the tips of your toes again. The next wave of relaxation, washing out any residual tension, melting away. This time and space is for you to simply be and to breathe. Whatever physical adjustments you need to make at any time, please do so. Your comfort is very important. I simply congratulate you for taking this time for yourself to connect, to rejuvenate, to energize, to simply be. And it's very simple to deepen this relaxation. Simply having the desire to go deeper, allowing that process to unfold. Following my instructions, it's very easy to increase the amount of relaxation in your body right now. Increasing it to the point that you desire, perhaps even asking yourself, how relaxed can I be? How deep can I go? All without judgment, of course. Simply with curiosity. How deep can I go? How relaxed can I be? The process is very simple. Simply by following my instructions, counting backwards from 10 to 0, 0 being that magic number that takes you to the place you desire. Further within, deeper down, wherever that place is. That journey begins now. Starting at 10, deeper down, more relaxed. 9, continuing downward. It feels so good, and you are doing wonderfully. 8, allowing this to happen, desiring to go to that place, amplifying this feeling. 7, 6, 5, halfway there. 3, 4, 3, 2, almost there, with that feeling of expectancy, desire, and allowance that you are almost there, almost at that magic number, and you are doing wonderfully. 2, 1, 0, 0, 0. Feeling the awesomeness of this space that you've created, this place that is meant just for you. And it's in this space right now where your mind is open and receptive to learning, to acceptance, to ideas, creativity flowing now through you. And so our journey tonight of focusing on that power of the month, focusing on that life force, life being the power of the month, life being that creative force within each and every one of us, that desire to grow, to learn, to become. That creative force within us. Just sit for a few moments and ask yourself right now, where is that creative force in me? It's there. Perhaps we've just never taken the time to notice where it sits inside of us, where it lives inside of us. And it quite possibly exists in a different place for each and every one of us. And so wherever that place is absolutely right and perfect for you. Just sit for a moment and identify that place, that creative life force within. And if this is a new experience for you, perhaps you simply say hello. Nice to meet you. I've never connected with you before, or it's been a long time. But I'm glad to know that you exist. Just take a few moments and reacquaint yourself with this creative life force. Notice, perhaps there's a color associated with it. Perhaps a feeling. Perhaps an image or a form, a shape of some sort. But just validating and knowing that this power within you is always there. Always there. Always willing to work with you to create whatever it is you desire. In reading from The 12 Powers by Charles Filmore, he writes, potentially, life's problems are already worked out for us. Potentially, life's problems are already worked out for us. But we do not consciously know this before we come to the place where we are ready to lay hold of truth understandingly. And the truth is that you have all of the inner resources needed to go about creating the life that you desire. To make those changes in your life that you've been wanting to make. That all of the answers you seek are within. And tonight we focus on using that creative life force to tap into those inner resources that allow us access to that inner wisdom. So the life force within is actually the explanation of why we are here. to be expressions of life. Each and every one of us showing up differently as different life expressions. Our life's purpose is not to get married or to work or to be good or to pay bills. It's not to do anything. And the doing may be a part of that, but truly, our life's purpose is to be an expression of life itself. Showing up as Carol, showing up as Marty, showing up as Kelly, as Mary, as Zoe. Without the desire for greater understanding of life, without the desire for a greater degree of life activity, we should never strive for the unfoldment of the soul. Without the inner push spurring us on to greater achievement, without the urgent desire to work out the chaos and confusion, working it out into light and joy, we should never bend our energies to the realization of the divine intelligence that reveals to us the attitude we should take in all the relations of life. So it's all good. Life has a way of working itself out. Those challenges aren't really challenges. They're the things that life gives us so that we may realize how powerful we are. That we may realize how much we can do. That we may realize the truth about ourselves. That we truly are unlimited. It is obvious, therefore, that life's problems consist chiefly in awakening the consciousness of our spiritual powers of being and acquiring a mental grasp of them. A joyful, carefree heart is one of the most valuable assets in demonstrating health and wholeness. A joyful heart. Is that not too part of the creative life force? Is to show up with a joyful heart? If it's been a while since you've felt that joyful heart, that playfulness, that little kid inside who sometimes just needs to go out and play, if that's a area that you would like to get in touch with now, defining joyful heart for yourself, take these few moments and do that. Give yourself that gift of a joyful heart. What does that mean to you? A playful soul. Gratitude. All things that allow us to be that expression of life, regardless of circumstances. Joyful heart, playful soul, calm mind. What does that look, sound, and feel like for you? Go ahead and create that. Allow it. Sometimes we simply take ourselves much too seriously. And it's helpful to do a mental rehearsal of what it's like to be playful again. Indeed, if a person would be a master in the realm of creative ideas, he or she must be free from worry and doubt and misgivings, and be filled with joyful praise and anticipation. These qualities are the magnets that draw to him new inspiration out of the superconscious. That's not to say that circumstances and challenges don't exist. Charles Filmore simply writes that to be a master of creative ideas, then we understand that the life force within us is always going to seek a solution. When we allow our powerful minds to create beneficial solutions, and understanding the creative, the ongoing, ever-renewing creative power of life, when we truly believe that this is possible and understand that we are never at a loss for answers, that something is always going to show up, then we can be there with joyful praise and anticipation, knowing that life has a way of working itself out. Life is progress, attainment, and mastery. And every new realization makes finer and stronger and more beautiful the texture of the soul. Life is progress, attainment, and mastery. And every new spiritual realization makes finer and stronger and more beautiful the texture of the soul. It engenders the power to draw from the invisible the fulfillment of its highest ideas. So that place of nothing from which everything comes. We all have that connection as well. When those ideas drop into our minds, when we're open and receptive to new learnings, when we allow that process to unfold, we have to know that answers are always provided. Divine ideas are universal in character and recognize the unity of life among people of all nations. These ideas of life, working in and through the soul, draw to them their own from the four corners of the earth. They attach to the individual and to the environment all the grandeur and loyalty and sublimity contained in the original idea. It is through this process that both the inner and the outer lives grow rich and full and satisfying. The desire and the stir of life, awaken us from our inactivity and spur us onward. It is in the working out of the state of lethargy that we develop spiritual powers that we should not otherwise feel the need. So it's that life force calling. It's that little voice inside of us, inside of each and every one of us, calling forth a new way of doing things. It's in those struggles when we hear that voice, we can do this differently. There's a better way. And we all know that we can silence that voice with reason, that we can quiet it for whatever reason and not listen to it. And then we have those moments when we connect with that inner voice and allow and accept the wisdom that is being shared with us. And so that is my invitation for you tonight. Making this connection right now with that creative life force. This power of life is associated with the color red. Red, a very powerful color. When we imagine the heart, it's typically red. Blood, a life force flowing through us all of the time, associated with the color of red. Just thinking of the force that is needed to pump that blood through our bodies on an ongoing basis. And that in and of itself is a creative life force. We don't ask for that blood to be pumped. We don't have to turn on a switch. It's okay. We don't have to turn on a switch. That blood flows through, whether we're having a good day, whether we're having a bad day. That blood is pumped and flows through us, whether we feel that we are deserving or whether we feel we're unworthy. That blood flows through us, pumping. Whether we are angry, judgmental, shameful, full of guilt, or whether we are joyful, grateful, playful, and calm. Every single cell in our body has a life force, the same life force coming from the universe, the same life force that's in the seed of an acorn, the same life force that's in a newborn, the same life force from the sun, from the moon, from everything connected. And sometimes we just need to sit with that awesomeness. That I too am this powerful. So knowing that creative life force exists in you, never separated only in our own minds, in our own thoughts, in our own limited thinking. And so this is your time and space to unleash it. Unleash it. So wherever that creative life force is sitting in your body, wherever it exists, wherever it lives in your body, see it being unleashed. Experience. Allow it to be unleashed right now. Feel it grow, expand. Perhaps there's a vibration surrounding it. Increase it, intensify it. Allow it to spread throughout your entire body, touching every single one of your cells, allowing it to be activated in every single part of you. And allowing it to provide answers, solutions, allowing it to provide insights, information, allowing it to help you understand something that you've been challenged by, allowing it to push you forward. And just in saying that, push forward, I have to think of a concrete parking lot in summer. We've all seen a concrete parking lot before, or an asphalt. And amazingly, sometimes we'll walk across a parking lot and there will be grass peeking up through what appears to be concrete or asphalt. How does that blade of grass make its way up through all of that stuff? And the answer is quite simple. That life force in that blade of grass that allows it to grow upward and push through a parking lot. That blade of grass doesn't ask questions. It simply does what it's supposed to do. Grow. Doesn't stop just because there's concrete over it. It keeps going. It's quite amazing when you think about it. So for these last few moments, decide how this creative life force, having made this connection tonight, how this changes. What changes for you now? What is going to be different for you? How are you going to take this connection and make it work, or allow it to work? And perhaps all of those answers don't come to you right now, and that's perfectly okay. You'll notice tonight, tomorrow, or the next week, from now on, associating the color red, every time you see that color red, being reminded of that creative life force within you. Seeing a stop sign, a red light, Mary's jacket, looking at all the poinsettias surrounding us, that color red becoming a very important color for you. Red signifying now, tomorrow, and every day following creative life force. And your mind automatically associates that color red with the affirmation, I am creative life. I am creative life. I am creative life. Always being associated with the color red now. And so my question is, in how many different ways will you notice this new power? In how many different ways will you notice the color red and associate it to that affirmation? Taking the next few moments, continuing to breathe in and breathe out. Asking that inner self of yours, perhaps there is insight that you're seeking right now. And if there is, go ahead and ask the question. And again, an answer may come immediately, and it may come later. But it does come in the perfect and right time for you. And when you receive that answer, you know exactly what action needs to be taken. So ending this session in just a few moments, not now, but in a few moments, and only at the snap of my fingers. And you hear that snap, feeling energized, awake, alert, focused, and ready for the rest of your evening. Knowing that when you fall asleep tonight, when you lay your head on that pillow, that you fall asleep with a different understanding, a different knowing, and you sleep deeply, soundly, restoratively, peacefully, having gained new insights about how powerful you are. Number one, becoming aware of the room and how your body fits into it, and making the realization that this is your space in the universe. Your space. 2, taking a deep breath in and allowing it to just move through you, oxygenating your body, energizing, rejuvenating. 3, the magical number 3 choices, 3 options to any problem or challenge that may arise for you. Choices give us freedom. You always see 3 of them. 4, with a feeling of expectancy, of feeling wonderful, feeling energized, feeling rejuvenated, feeling as something different. There's just something different now about me. And you walk out of here with that new wisdom. And number 5, add with a feeling of expectancy, of feeling great. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, eyes open, eyes open, eyes open. Feeling fantastic. Yay. You all did so well.